When I think of the basic or budget-friendly essentials for streaming, I think of the people that are just getting started. They have a hobby. They have a podcast that they want to go live with. So I think before we even get into the hardware, the kind of things that you might want to bring in for streaming, what would you give for someone who is just getting started, just kind of figure out things? What is their first kind of starting steps for streaming, Paul?
Well, John, I love these little microphones that we got recently. It just plugs right into my phone. 2 wireless mics and a receiver for $40, I think it was. Maybe even $30.
And it seems to be working well.
And it's working well. So audio is important. Definitely, if you're using your phone, the first thing you should buy is a microphone and these little wireless mics. Can't believe it. Crazy.
What is the brand?
I don't even know.
So impressive.
It's yellow and black.
Yeah, it's yellow and black.
Yellow,
I can
black
figure it
and
out
yellow.
while I talk about the iPhone and Android. So everyone realizes they have a phone and a camera in their pocket. But I don't think people realize how good these cameras are these days. You know, everyone has a 4K camera right in their pocket. They can go live directly from many different apps. And I think it's important to kind of establish that you do not need a camera to go live. You have a phone that has a camera. It is, just like Paul mentioned, it's all about the audio, as you'll see throughout this presentation, because no one cares about your video if it sounds like you're talking through a tin can, right? People are going to click off immediately if the audio is so horrible, right? So it's important to establish a good kind of audio relationship with your audience because they want to be able to enjoy what they're listening to. But it's also important to have some pretty good video. So when we're talking about, your very start and intro to audio, let's flip over to the next slide, Paul, and see what we have here. So these are some very basic starter mics for you guys. I wanted to go for something that's like in $50 range because that is what you're going to be probably spending. You're probably out there in a basic budget setup is probably under $100 for most people. Even $100 might be too much. So let's focus just on the audio. You want to have your phone. You can integrate a $50 microphone with your computer or plug it in via USB-C to a phone if you have like an Android or the new iPhone. These are $50 now. I mean, we've seen the price of microphones go down a lot. The first microphone I ever actually bought is the Ice Snowball microphone.
Yeah, I bought that too.
There.
I bought that and thought that I was going to record an album and get famous, and I had one of those.
It's at my house now somehow.
You have that?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh well, keep it because it's all yours. But these things are a good buy. Now it's even going to a second owner.
They were so popular in the beginning.
I think it's the look, right? It's a beautiful look.
So cool.
It's very iconic. They kind of establish themselves.
It's a Snowball too. What a perfect name for that.
Yeah, perfect name, perfect look. The brand is right front and center. It's beautiful. But then you have over on the other side Razer, who is that kind of sleek, very gamer focused design for microphones. And the cool thing about Razer is that they try to match all of their products, right? So you can get a keyboard that matches, a pink microphone if you want your pink setup for your pink room. So very in line for content creators that love to be fashionable as much as they like good audio. So now we're talking about video, and we have some great example of different products here. So right here we have our PTZ Optics Webcam 80V2, a tiny little webcam that is only $38. A perfect little webcam to start out for new creators. Has a little privacy screen here if you don't want to worry about your privacy there. And this is under $50. So combined with this, a $50 microphone, you're under $100. And right there you could be going and streaming at 1080p, 60 frames per second, and have a great audio mic with the Razer or the Snowball mic.
Nice. And then you included some interesting information, helpful information about the network. You got to look at your upload speed. You can go to Google and just say speed test, and it'll just boom run a speed test. What's your download? What's your upload? Download's not as important. It's the upload that when you're streaming. That's the outbound stream is uploading into the cloud. But yeah, you want 5 to 10 megabits to do an HD stream.
Absolutely.
And, 4K, you're getting into the 10 to 20 realm. And sometimes your computer just totally stopped
Eats out,
working because
yeah.
you're doing too many streams.
Yeah, you'll notice as we go through the presentation here is that we don't talk a lot about hardware in terms of computers, right? We don't talk about that, and we don't talk about maybe your switcher or your video kind of switcher for live switching, because I think those are separate videos entirely. I think we could make a whole video on going over as many switchers and video switchers as possible, and same goes for streaming hardware when it comes to the computer. I think most people these days, if you have a Mac, most of them have N1 and above that can easily stream almost any stream that you would like, as long as your network, as you can see on the slide there, is matching your network. So like Paul said, you can go and just type in speed test on Google. Speedtest.net is also a great website as well. Test My Net, I think, is another one for testing your bandwidth.